Welcome to Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi. To my right, the Swami George Abraham. To my left, the Tiger Albert Campman. Tell me, is this week 4, 5 of high school
October,
football
right around the corner
already? Let's go. Our top leaders of the week rushing. Elijah Palmer McCain of Elwood City, 220 yards rushing. Is he a junior?
Junior.
Mm-hmm. Now, what's his size, Albert?
Just decent size, not great size.
No, where do you project him? Like, is he a Division I possibly Mid American?
I'm not sure.
Does he have speed?
Decent speed.
Okay. Owen Bish, Union AC Valley, 148 yards, 2 TDs. Jack Fennell, North Catholic, 160 and a TD. Evan Wright of Mars, he makes it every week, 147, 2 TDs. Robert James of Riverside, 107. Luke Kramer of Carn City, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns. David Graff of Butler, 101 yards. Passing, Hunter Homan of Grove City, 357 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and he rushed for 58 yards and 2 mores. He had a total of 415 total yards in a 47-14 win over Slippery Rock. George, how are they 3-2?
Tough schedule. Avonworth, you know how good they are. And Farrell, 1 touchdown.
Farrell's undefeated, right?
Farrell's really good.
And Avonworth beat Central Valley.
Avonworth's really good.
That tells me everything.
I don't think
those are 2 of the top 5 teams on the western part of the state.
That's a tough schedule.
Avonworth and Farrell. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
Per classification, that's how good they are.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Luke Goodworth of Mars, 220 yards and a TD. Logan Kushner, North Allegheny, 170. Deshaun Anderson of Beaver Falls, 151. Trent Beecham of Montauk, 146 yards and a touchdown. Drew Ross of Freeport, 129 and a TD. Sean O'Shea of Seneca Valley, 121. And receiving. Now, tell me, we ever had this happen before? Here are the 3 top receivers. Gavin Lutz of Grove City caught 8 for 118 yards and a TD. Joey Hathaway of Grove City caught 7 for 106 yards and 3 touchdowns. And Nathan Greer of Grove City, 9 for 103. We've never had 3 from one team, all with over 100 yards receiving. Yeah. Have we ever had that?
Yeah.
No.
Slippery Rock was doing some chasing that night.
No, were they ever?
Hathaway's glad he's not still at Slippery Rock after that score. That's his son there. The old coach, that's his son. And
that's his son. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gavin.
Greer kid, good, but they're basketball. I'll tell you what, they are really loaded in sports, Grove City.
Maybe we can play someone within our region if we could
so.
do Grove City's basketball game. Gabe Hine of Mars, 5 for 99 yards. Aiden Alessio of Mars, 5 for 84 and a TD. Brady Sullivan of Freeport, 7 for 75 yards and a TD. James Donaldson of North Allegheny, 6 for 74. DeJuan Webb of Seneca Valley, 4 for 66. And Brendan Sankey of Montauk, 5 for 60. Let's go to our power.
I want to say something over there.
Sure.
Just this is always high school supposed to be. Last year, we were raving about Slippery Rock. Do you understand? That's the way high school sports is supposed to be.
Yes.
It's not supposed to be the same team every year coming up on the board unless there's some recruiting going on.
Yeah, it's nice to see that.
Yes.
Hey, power rankings, high school football in 6A, Central Catholic, undefeated at the top. That goes with their 50-22 win over North Allegheny. The Tigers dropped to number 2, their first loss of the season. Mount Lebanon and Cannon Mac. In 5A, it's Peters Township, followed by Penn Hills, Surging Pine Richland. And this Friday, the Coaches Roundtable will be at North Allegheny as they entertain the Pine Richland Rams. We'll bring you that game, tape delay. And 4th place, it's Upper St. Clair, 4-1. And in 5th, Woodland Hills. It's been a while, Woodland Hills. It's been a struggle for them the last few years.
You know what, though? That 5A used to be the old 6A tops.
We're going to see some changes
with the new numbers.
Counting the VOTEC enrollment.
Absolutely.
Woodland Hills was losing players to Gateway. And
you know where else?
And now they didn't. So
aren't some of them at Central Catholic? in 4A, it's Aliquippa, Thomas Jefferson, McKeesport, Central Valley, and Montour. But that's a tough classification too.
Really tough.
And in 3A, Elizabeth Forward, Bell Vernon, Avonworth undefeated, Seton LaSalle, Mount Pleasant, and in 2A, Washington, Westinghouse in there at 4-0, Neshannock, Still Valley, and Mohawk. And in 1A, it's Bishop Canevin, Southside Beaver, Cornell, Union, and Clareton. Union getting better, 4-1.
Oh yeah, they're one of the Albert top couple.
Yeah, there's Southside Beaver and Cannon are the two I think are better. We'll find out where you fits.
Yeah, and you said when I heard it too, I think about Neshannock. Their one loss is to Sharon.
And there's Westinghouse still in there,
Absolutely.
4-0. Last year they
2
were
years in a row now,
13-1.
right?
Yeah, they were good.
And
I
this,
saw them doing grass drills in the hall.
well, they
in
gave
a commercial.
Southern Columbia all they could handle. What that game
Beat
end up?
Farrell easily.
They
So that
beat
tells you how good they
Oh,
were.
Beat
yeah.
undefeated Farrell, beat undefeated Still Valley.
Yes.
Too.
Yeah, you have to be good to beat those
Right.
teams. Absolutely.
Our coach does a terrific job, Donta Green.
Yeah, you read about him. It does all the things we like. Starts
Yeah.
with the capital D on discipline. That's what
he's
he has.
old school.
Yes.
Hey, the Pittsburgh Tribune reviews soccer rankings. Boys 4A, number 1, Seneca Valley, 8-0-2. Number 2, North Allegheny, 10-0-1. And number 4, Butler, 8-2-1. In 3A, number 1 is Hampton, 8-1-1 for the girls. 4A, number 1, North Allegheny, 10-0. Number 4, Seneca Valley, 8-1. In 3A, number 1, what else is new? Mars, 8-0. And in 2A, number 3 is North Catholic, 6-2. Let's go to our stories of the week. The Steelers win a home game in Las Vegas, 23-18, as black and gold permeated that stadium. The first road win against the Raiders since 1995. Kenny Pickett picked it up, 16-28, 235 yards and 2 TDs. He's the first Steeler quarterback to throw 2 touchdowns in a game since 2021.
Wow.
That's how long of a drought it's been. And J.T. Watt, he's just phenomenal. 2 sacks. He's relentless. The Steelers had 4. Long as he stays healthy, I don't think anyone can block him when he's coming off the edge.
They don't block him one-on-one.
No.
They chip him all the time.
And the big touchdown pass, the 72 yards for Calvin Austin. He's their fastest player. He adds a dynamic to that
They don't
offense.
catch him from behind, that's for sure.
Now, the running game's still subpar. Najee Harris, 19 carries, 65 yards. What is that, about 3.4, 3.5 carry? Jimmy Garoppolo, he threw for yardage, 324, 2 TDs, but also 3 picks. And he got a concussion. He took a beating. Now, I didn't hear anyone say anything about Matt Canada. Now, here's what I think he did good. I'm going to give him some credit. I think rolling out Kenny Pickett and doing some bootlegs with him kept him away. You saw on the other side of the ball, Max Crosby. He's another guy that's dangerous, relentless. But I thought Canada did a nice job the way he handled mixing things up with Kenny Pickett.
Well, I know they were successful. And anytime successful, the guy gets another week to survive.
Yeah, way too much.
You know.
Right.
Too much blame.
Now, the Steelers' run defense just stuffed the Raiders. The run game, Josh Jacobs, he's lucky he got to the line of scrimmage at different times. The toughest thing for the Steelers was getting back home as they're playing emergency landing in Kansas City with some Lloyd.
That would be the worst.
Now, they sat there in the tarmac for like 5 hours, 6 hours. So it puts them a game behind. They're on their way to Houston next week. The Steelers favored by 4.5. Look out, Houston. That was a surprise game. When you have it figured out in the NFL, please write us the formula. Might be easier to decipher Einstein's theory of relativity.
How many went out into suicide with that?
600 went out this week.
Yeah.
Jacksonville at home. And
Dallas.
Ravens were home. At least Dallas was on the road.
Rookie C.J. Stroud, the quarterback, threw for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. Houston pounded the Jaguars 37-17.
Yeah, and Jacksonville was a picked by a lot of experts to
Super Bowl.
go to Super Bowl.
Yeah, I had him highly picked.
Who's that guy out that had all the catches for Houston?
Dell.
Yeah,
Tank
Dell. Hey, is that
He caught a nice
140 yards or something. Yeah.
Around the NFL, the AFC North, Indy stuns the Ravens in Baltimore 22-19 in overtime. Their kicker, Matt Gay, kicked 4 50-yard field goals, 2 53-yarders. Tucker just missed a 61.
Dead on, but it was low.
Just short.
Yeah, it was just short, maybe short. 2-3 yards.
Now, here what surprised me about Indy. Now, I know Baltimore, the last 2 years, no one's been devastated by injuries more than Baltimore. But Indy took it to them physically. I was a little bit surprised by how physical they were in defense.
Yes. Seems like the defenses are really stopping the run. Teams, not too many people are successful running. That's why San Fran's doing so well. They can run the football.
Now, Lamar had a big game. He rushed for 101 yards. He threw for 262. But what I noticed about Baltimore, there's no deep threat. There's no vertical deep threat in that offense.
It's supposed to be the kid from Boston
Flowers, they
College.
took Flowers for that.
Yeah,
Flowers.
but I'm not seeing it.
You know, I'm going to say this is going to sound. I don't think that Lamar runs enough. Now I know the danger of getting hurt, but man, I don't see the weapons. Like I was watching that game, it went into overtime. I'm thinking, I didn't know how they were going to get down there.
What, they have 6 starters out?
I think 7 or 8. Actually,
What goes on there? The one team gets decimated by injuries
Happens every
like
year.
that.
You think
Happens
maybe
every year.
Harbaugh's practices out?
No.
No,
No,
not at
I don't
all.
think it. And give credit to Indy backup quarterback Gardner Minshew,
Oh.
227 yards at TD. And so next up for Baltimore, they're 2-1. They're at the Browns 2-1, and the Ravens favored by 1.5. Surprise?
Well, they're equal.
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah.
that they're equal. They're having Baltimore a little 3-4 points better, but they're equal.
All right, Cleveland 27, the Titans 3.
3.
Cleveland defense holds the Titans in 94 total yards.
Oh.
Myles Garrett 3.5 sacks. Let me say, in 3 games, Cleveland's given up 32 points, but really, in actuality, they've only given up 18 because the Steelers scored 14
Defense.
on a pick 6 and a
Yeah.
fumble recovery.
Yeah, right.
You know how many touchdowns they've given up this year in 3 games? 1.
Yeah, they're playing like that. Every time you watch Cleveland play, they're all over the place.
Yeah,
And that's why that win by Pittsburgh was a great win. And once again,
absolutely.
nobody will give them credit for it. They'll say, oh, they were lucky. I just know they beat Cleveland. And
Hey,
Cleveland's good.
Cleveland's good, very
Cleveland's
good.
good.
Hey, did they show our show in Cleveland? Because last week I trashed Deshaun. I said he's still covered in
Oh, he
rust.
looked good.
He's
Yeah,
terrible.
He did something.
Yeah, if
The
you're
curse
going back,
lives.
the curse lives. He was 27
He
to
was good.
33
Yeah.
for 280, and he looked like the Deshaun.
And Myles Garrett was just throwing him on the ground.
Yeah,
Well, if watching plays like that,
yeah.
I'm telling you, Cleveland is a very dangerous
Dangerous team.
Yeah.
Steelers were lucky to win that game. The two
But
picks.
that's why they play, though.
Yeah, that's the way they play.
They usually don't go for touchdowns, but the Steelers defense does that to you.
So-
They come after you.
So in baseball, if you're in a slump, let me make note of your slump. You're coming out of it.
Absolutely.
And if you're doing well, you don't want me to say anything.
No, Watson was really good.
I told George on the phone, this is important for other fans. There's a way to beat Pittsburgh, and I told him, you go no huddle, and you wear down.
I agree
you
with
wear
that
down their pass
100%.
rush. See, their pass rush. If you
I
let them
agree.
if you let them be fresh,
Good point.
they're coming after you like full
I
throttle.
agree.
I go no huddle, so Watt has to. I need a break.
And
you know?
I still think you could throw the ball on the Steelers.
Well, you can if there's no
Yeah.
pass rush.
Right.
Their pass rush takes care of that.
Well, and instead of running away from J.T. Watt, I would do what Cleveland did in the playoff game a couple years ago, and I'd pull a guard or tackle, and he comes so hard upfield, seal
Run
him
inside
off
of
and
him.
run inside. Hey, Cincy 19, Rams 16. So the AFC North, Cleveland 2-1, Steelers 2-1, Baltimore 2-1, Cincy 1-2. They've done this 3 years in a row, but their offense, what is going on with their offense?
Offensive line.
They're I think
Offensive
that's
line.
part of the
Oh,
problem.
that's the whole problem.
And the Rams, Stafford got sacked 6
Offensive
times.
line.
Terrible offensive line
Boy,
for
did
them.
with the Bengals in there on him. You talk about
On
taking
the
a
defensive
beating.
end was
Well,
Well, the
relentless
defensive
for them.
tackle was out. You know, there's such a drop off between the first teamer and a second teamer in the NFL on the offensive line. I mean, they can't find enough offensive linemen.
Well, I'm going to refer back to what Belichick says. Don't get too excited the first 8
Exactly.
because this last 8, 9
It's truth.
determine the season. Hey, the AFC, around the AFC, Miami 70, Denver 20. No, that's not a basketball score. The Dolphins put up 726 yards of offense. Where did you go, Vic Fangio?
Hey, 5 touchdowns rush, 5 touchdown pass.
350 yards rushing for Miami.
The part of I said it to the show 3 or 4 times. The head coach doesn't get any blame for Denver.
Never.
Yeah,
Last year they said Hackett was the worst, and I know how bad he was.
Yeah.
But how come this guy's not?
He shouldn't have said a
Oh,
word.
'cause he's a good guy.
No.
And he's not. Oh,
How about
yes.
rookie running back Devon Chain? He
Mm-hmm.
rushed
He's
for
fast.
203 yards. Tagovailoa, the quarterback, threw for 309 and 4 TDs. As long as he stays healthy, this team is really good. That 350 yards rushing is a. I don't remember that ever happening before in the
10
NFL.
touchdowns on 5 in each rush pass.
And this is the highest scoring game since 1966 when the Redskins beat the Giants 72 to 41. And when Otto Graham was the head coach and the quarterback was Sonny
Oh,
Jurgensen,
could he throw
and the
it?
wide receiver running back was Bobby Mitchell.
Was
Yes.
Bill Bourne in that game?
Bill Bourne was at that game, yeah. So, hey, here's the game of the week. You know, get yourself settled down. The Dolphins 3-0 at Buffalo, 2-1.
Oh.
The Bills by 3. Buffalo crushed the Washington Commas 37-3. Josh Allen 3 TDs. How about the Bills defense? What they did? 4 interceptions. They sacked Sam Howell 9
I
times.
know. Fantasy. My grandson says, how'd your team do? He says, Papa, I won. You know how I won? Buffalo's defense gave me 54 points. I said, yeah,
Wow.
it was the greatest defensive performance.
I'm taking the Bills in this game.
Well, they can win that game at home for sure.
No, I'm taking the Bills.
Why wouldn't you?
Is there something in the NFL when you score 50, 60 points one game?
Yeah.
The next
Yeah,
week
it
it's
happens.
like
Some
struggling
stat
for a
on
point.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
stat
sure.
on it. And those data people.
Boy, are they good. Hey,
Wow,
you
something.
talk about 2 good teams.
Yeah.
How about that division?
Yeah. And then the AFC. Now look who's getting good. The Chiefs 41, the Bears 10.
Oh, yeah.
The big winner was Travis Kelce. He had Taylor Swift in
In
the
the
box
box.
with Mama
Absolutely.
Kelce. That's serious when you bring her to the game with Mama.
Serious cash or
Yeah.
some serious cash.
Hey, Justin Fields, he's just struggling. 99 yards passing. You know, I've said, what is it with the Bears, the Jets, the Raiders, the Vikings for 20 years? They just can't get it going. On all the number 1 top picks they've had, and they can't get their programs turned around.
Well, it's just just put a tape recorder on me. It's offensive line play, and if you're a quarterback in the NFL and you got no offensive line, you are running for your life.
And the Jets have it there. And the Jets and the Raiders and the Bears.
They have no
terrible.
offensive lines. That's 3 of them right
But
there.
my point is, after year of them having losing seasons,
Well, but
getting all
don't you
these
think they
top
know
draft
they don't
picks.
have an? In other words,
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Right.
The league set up so you pick first when you're lousy. Why can't they at some point have a line?
Who's running their draft department?
I don't know.
And-
And I know right now the guy at the Bears, he's not going to make it.
And you know the common thing with those teams I mentioned, they get a new coach every 3 years.
That's another thing.
A new coach every
That's
3
tough.
years.
That's tough.
All right, here's a stunner. Arizona, 12-point dog, ran all over
Oh,
Dallas,
wow.
28-16, 222 yards rushing, and James Conner, 98 yards and a TD. Boy, he looked strong. That game, if you'd have told me the Cards were going to win that game, now you might have said they were going to cover,
Yeah.
but win it outright.
Not for long, NFL.
You can't figure it. You can't figure that out.
Nobody knows. Hey,
No.
real quick too on that. They should have beaten the Redskins week 1, and they were up 21-0 in the Giants week 2.
Don't the Steelers play Arizona and Indy? I think they play them both.
Okay.
And Houston, none of them easy games. Yeah,
No, there are no easy
way.
games in that
There
league,
are zero easy games.
especially on the road.
All right, here are my power rankings. You guys jump in. I have number 1, Frisco. Number 2, Miami. 3, Kansas City. Philadelphia winner last night, 25-11 over Tampa Bay. They're 3-0 at number 4. Buffalo 5. I have Cleveland at number 6 because of that defense, only giving up 1 touchdown in 3 games. Might be surprised I have Detroit number 7, Dallas 8, Seattle 9, Baltimore 10.
Baltimore's the only team I wouldn't put in there yet, but they're going on reputation. We'll see how they do with it the whole year.
And how about Coach Blunder was at it again, Brandon Staley of the Chargers. They're winning 28-24 of the Vikings, a 4th and 1 at his own 24 late in the game. He goes for it. They get stopped. Miraculously, his defense comes through. Was Austin Eckler wrong when he said we don't have the best of coaching at times?
He did say that.
How's this guy get away? What? Did you hear his answer? He gave a bunch of shinola as to why we weren't protecting a 3-point lead. We were protecting a 4-point. Coach, you punt the ball.
Yeah.
You think Chuck Noll and Lombardi were spitting in their graves when he went for that?
Well, the one you passed over is McDaniel kicking a field goal.
Johnny.
Down
Oh
there.
yeah, no, right.
I
right.
have no
Go ahead.
idea
Right,
Get
what
him.
he could have been thinking.
Get him. Go ahead. He deserves
Absolutely.
Jeez, I mean, you need a touchdown.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
Either way, you need a touchdown.
Right.
So if you win with another field goal, then I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, if it was 5, and you said, well, that way we wouldn't have to get to the 50,
Yes.
we'll take a shot.
Yeah.
I get
I
it.
agree 100%.
I get it. Terrible.
Some of these decisions, I mean,
They're the worst. Football
I'm
coaches are the worst
sorry.
on game day.
The old school coaches, they wouldn't have
Get
done
points.
that stuff. They
Get
wouldn't
points.
have
That's what I want to
I
get
had
points.
a buddy the other day. I said, well, that's what the sheet says. He said, the sheet's wrong. He goes,
I mean, can you imagine like Noel, Lombardi, and
No.
Landry with a 4th and goal at the 4 or 5 yard line, going for it, not kicking a field goal?
No,
They wouldn't.
No.
Hey, college football, North Carolina 41, Pitt 24. North Carolina quarterback Drake May, 22 of 30, 290 yards. In Pitt's last 2 games against North Carolina and Drake May, they have given up 83 points and over 800 yards of offense.
Tell you
North
what,
Carolina scores on everybody.
he's pretty good.
No,
Yeah.
he's a pro.
Did you see the
Oh, yeah.
left-handed pass by any
He's a
chance?
pro.
Oh, that
Huh?
was
Al,
amazing.
he's rolling left, and they get on his right arm. He threw it with his left hand.
Pretty
Was that
cool,
a
huh?
touchdown, wasn't it?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah,
good.
this loss doesn't affect me because that's how good North Carolina is.
Oh, they're
You
good.
understand? No, they're better than good. They beat South Carolina in the
Easy.
It's easy
Easy,
too.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, Phil Jakovic, 11 of 15 for 109 yards, injured in the second quarter with a blow to the head, a targeting hit that ejected the North Carolina player. Didn't come back. There's no word. They're not saying whether he has a neck injury or a concussion. The backup, fans have been booing and calling for the backup, Christian Value. He came in. He was 7 of 18, 85 yards, 2 interceptions, and a fumble. Thank God he wasn't booed. But Pitt 1 and 3, thank God for the opener with Wofford. They might be 0 and 4. Unless they run the table, which they're not going to do, there's no major bowl for them this year. Now, Narduzzi said, everyone knows the capabilities we have in this team. What are they? I could have eggs, milk, butter, and flour to make a cake, but if I don't put it together, I don't have a cake. So I don't. What does he mean by that statement?
He always says things that I don't understand what he means all the time. I just know that this team is not real good. When I watch them play, I see nothing that stands out.
But it's disappointing. I expected more out of that team this year.
And don't forget Saturday. You know, I always say this to guys, like Pitt's looking at, oh, we can beat Virginia Tech. You know, Virginia Tech's thinking, we can get this.
Now they make Virginia Tech lost to Marshall. Whoa. Marshall is what, 4-0 or 5-0?
Yep.
Yes.
They beat Virginia Tech 24 to
Beat
17.
Notre Dame last year.
They beat Notre Dame last year. So now Pitt is at Virginia Tech. I think Pitt is favored by 2. Here's what my insider, Cy Shokowitz, tells me that after this season, there's going to be some upheaval in Pitt athletics. Narduzzi to take over at Michigan State, and A.D. Heather Light headed to Ohio State.
Wow, that'd be a big shakeup.
Makes sense.
That'd be a big shakeup.
Yeah, she covers for
I know
them.
Michigan State's making a mistake if they take
Oh,
our
God,
coaches out there.
no.
There's a lot of coaches out there that can
Don't get
they
crushed.
can recruit.
But
better
you
than
know, he has this big proponent there.
Oh, no.
in Mark D'Antonio.
Oh,
the
yeah.
former
Well, let
that he
me
worked
ask you,
under.
you see his defense.
Yeah. Well, just what North Carolina's done the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, Penn State 31, Iowa nothing. I thought this would be a better game. The Penn State defense holds the Hawkeyes to only 76 total yards. The Birds never got their wings flapping in this one. Next up for Penn State 5-0. Oh my God, look out at hapless Northwestern.
No.
Penn State by 25. I think that's low.
Yeah, it might be.
Boy, that league is weak.
Oh, that left side.
That
Yeah.
league
West.
is weak.
This-
Yes.
oh,
That league's weak.
Northwestern, Nebraska,
Right down the
Iowa.
line.
Who's any good? Wisconsin. They're not that good.
They're not that
They're
good.
3-1. They're
Yeah,
3-1.
Wisconsin beat them.
Hey, West Virginia 20, Texas Tech 13. How about the Mountaineers win 3 straight, first time ever under Neil Brown?
Jump Neil.
Little in the way of passing, though, only 99 yards. Next up, they're at TCU 3-1. The Horned Frogs by 10.
Well,
Boy,
TCU can score.
this is a big game.
TCU can score, but they're gonna play a good defense. West Virginia has a good defense.
Very good
Mhm.
defense. If they could get any kind of a passing attack,
They don't have much.
it could be.
Now,
no,
did the kid come back that got hurt?
no.
The lefty played again.
Yeah,
Yeah, lefty played.
Okay.
Nico played again.
All right.
All right, Slippery Rock 35,
Let's see.
Seton Hill 14. The number 12 Rockets scored 21 second quarter points. Quarterback Braden Long, 20 of 35, 213 yards, 3 TDs, and interception. Running back Chris Dior, 93 yards rushing, and their outstanding wide receivers, Kyle Sheets, 9 for 85 and a TD. Cohen Russell, 5 for 57 and a TD. Next up for the Rock, 4-0. They're home versus 3-1 IUP. That's a 6 o'clock kickoff at the Rock. The Rock favored by 7. That's my.
That's a great
that's-
game.
Yeah,
That's a
always
great
a great
Yeah,
game.
uh-huh.
Yeah, that and Cal generally determines the season.
I like the way their defense helped Seton Hill to 14.
Good
I
point.
always listen for what
Much
side
better.
there.
2 things better for the Rock this year: better rushing attack and better defense.
Mhm.
They go together.
Absolutely.
You don't have to
Question.
defend as much as long.
Westminster 2-2, 31. Waynesburg 20. Running back Ryan Gomes, he rushed for 136 yards and a TD. And next for, excuse me here, I'm getting way ahead of myself. College football. Here we go. The national scene. Number 4, Ohio State defeated
Hold on, I
Notre
want
Dame.
to Grove
Yeah.
City had a gigantic
It'd be
win.
See, I didn't get that. I didn't get the news on that.
Yeah, they played a night game, and
Yeah, it was a night game.
that win catapulted them into a chance to win the league.
What do they have? 4? They're 4-1 now, I think. Or
No,
something.
no,
they're
no.
undefeated.
They're still undefeated.
Yep, they have not lost
Yeah.
the game.
I look for information. I didn't get.
They
any
won
on
that
game.
case, which was big, and they beat
Gigantic.
Carnegie Mellon. Now,
You didn't get any special.
No, it appears
stats.
W&J. It appears W&J is the team.
Those are the two teams.
Any individual stats we
W&J,
got in that
Grove
game,
City.
Grove City?
I read it, but I can't remember
Okay.
exactly.
On the national scene, number 4 Ohio State defeated number 9 Notre Dame 17-14 on a last-second TD.
Can I say something there?
Yeah,
It's best to have 11 guys in the film.
yeah. I was just going to get to that. The last 2 plays, they only had 10 out there, and there was a gap. And this after a timeout. Now, to his credit, Marcus Freeman said, "My mistake. We didn't, but I didn't want to call timeout because we didn't have one and get a penalty, so
And
they held
it
the
moves
player
it this
there."
much.
I understand.
It was here.
Yeah,
So now you move it here.
right. It was a terrific game, a brutal game. And then after the game, Ryan Day, I don't know what you guys thought. He goes on a post-game tirade on 87-year-old Lou Holtz. Coach, take the higher road. I can never remember Chuck Noll blowing up like that. And Mike Tomlin has too much class to act like that. He was ranting and raving. Now, if he'd have lost, he wouldn't have said a thing about Lou Holtz. And why didn't he say something before the game about it?
He was out of control. He really was.
That was
I have no
crazy.
idea. But more importantly, though, we can't pass over. Notre Dame has supposed to be the best assistants in the country.
How many are on the
How
film?
can you have
It's
10
a mistake.
players on? It's
inexcusable.
inexcusable.
It's inexcusable.
amazing.
Good word.
And not one more thing
10 players.
about Ryan Day. His rant. He loses to Penn State and Ohio State or Michigan. He's going to get a tsunami of blowback
From
against
me.
him from all of us.
That's right.
Hey, that's it for us. We run out of time. We'll see you next week.
High school sports, community events, all of your favorite local shows are calling the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel their home. Find out everything your neighborhood has to offer on Channel 100 or on YouTube. Spirit, town pride, local communities. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
My name is Matt Romeo. I've been at Armstrong for almost 9 years now. What I love most about my role as a lead tech is making a difference in my techs that I'm looking after, making a difference in their lives. I make sure that on their jobs, they have the help that they will need. There are so many opportunities to advance in this company. The training has been absolutely first class. Armstrong cares about our customers getting installed and serviced, but they mostly care about us going home at the end of the day.